I didn't sign on to be a dump truck. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're now done reviewing Action Masters. So now we're going to take a look at something completely different. As you can see, we've got a Constructicon this time around. This is the 1985 Transport Long Haul. The Long Haul would be released in 1985 with the other Constructicons. He would also be on shelves in 1986. He would be discontinued by 1987, and we would not get a replacement for him. Long Haul, of course, is one of the Constructicons. He forms the hips for Devastator. And, of course, for those of you who are fans of him in the cartoon, he shares the same voice actor as Grimlock. But at any rate, let's take a look at Long Haul here. And take a look at some of his articulation. Straighten his head up a little. And his articulation is about typical for what you would expect for a Transformer of his size. His arms can rotate at the shoulder almost all the way. Going around the back, they catch on his leg. And same thing with the front. So you almost get 360, but of course you can also stretch the arm out just a little bit to get it to clear the leg, and it will go all the way. And even though it's primarily used for transforming him, you can bend his legs at the knees. As you can kind of see by looking at him, he's meant to look pretty tough. But of course, with him sharing the body of a dump truck, yeah, he's gonna be tough. Well, let's get down to transforming Long Haul. Of course, to start with, we need to remove his gun. Alright, first thing we need to do to transform Long Haul is we're going to take his head and fold it down against the chest. We straighten his arms out like so. We're going to fold the fists inward, and then you will push the arms in like so. Turn around here to the back. We're going to pop this piece loose from his back and fold it up over the top of the body. And then we bend the body backward at the hip joint. Should just pop loose. There we go. Like so. And then you fold his legs up all the way like so. And he is now in his alternate mode, a dump truck. It's not exactly known what specific model of dump truck he's intended to be. Some sources try to cite that he's an earth mover type dump truck, similar to the Throttlebot Wide Load, who I reviewed a few months back. But an earth mover style dump truck is very, very, very large. And I kind of doubt he is that type. I think he's more your small commercial grade dump truck. To be more kind of in the same line and scale that the other Constructicons would be. As for being able to roll around, he does have 6 plastic wheels on him. So how well does he roll? Pretty good against this solid table here. But of course, like the other Constructicons, he does have an attack mode to go along with it, using the parts that he comes with for Devastator. You take the missile mount and you attach it on the posts onto the back of the truck, like so. And then, of course, you can attach the wing on top of the missile mount, like so. And there you have it. His dump truck is now in its attack mode, which gives off kind of the impression of being rather sturdy and rather silly looking at the same time. But then again, a number of years back, somebody did add a lot of cement walls around their bulldozer, and they effectively had a tank to go rampaging through their town. So I guess effectiveness is in the eye of the beholder. Let's take a look now at Longhaul's loose parts. We'll start with his weapon, which the card calls a laser pistol. And it's a pretty interesting styled pistol. I mean, we got a little sight notch here at the front. Yes, and the back is intended to look like a shoulder rest. To almost be like for a rifle, but says it's a pistol. But it does have that sci-fi edge look to it, so it's kind of nice. You just got to put up with it being in bright green. And then, of course, we have what they call the missile mount. This is basically also the hip piece for Devastator. Of course, it does have the two missiles on it. They are not intended to be removed, but as you can see, they are held on by a couple of small screws. So, if you had a tiny Phillips screwdriver, you could presumably take them off. I don't know why you would want to, but the only thing you really got to watch for on samples of this is the thin plastic that makes up the hip piece, especially these protruding tabs down here that connect to Scrapper and Mixmaster. They can stress wear. As you can see, this one here does have a bit of stress wearing to it. So you do have to be kind of careful with how you mount and take them off. And then lastly, you have this wing, which is how it's listed on the card backer. It's called a wing. There should be some stickers on this, but my sample doesn't have any. And it's all hollow here on the backside. And again, something to watch is these two posts. While these aren't used for Devastator, these are what connect the wing onto the missile mount when you're mounting it for the attack mode. So do be careful that those are still on there, because as you can see, they are very small, very, very thin, so they will break easily. Now we'll take a quick look at Longhaul's file card here. This isn't exactly the best example for it, but beggars certainly can't be choosers. Down here would be where Longhaul would be kept, and up here in this area would be where the pieces were located. This one was apparently bought at Skaggs Alpha Beta, and he retailed for about $8. Turn it around to the back side, and you can see it's loaded with activity here. Up in the top left, we have the barcode, and of course the robot points. Long haul was worth 1 point. Then, instead of the mural, we have this display featuring Devastator, and encouraging us to nag the heck out of our parents so that we could get all 6, so we could build this mighty construction. I know I certainly did, folks. My brother had a hand in it too, even though he was still too young for it. At any rate, we got a drawing here of Long Haul, and it shows off all the pieces. And we start with how to turn him into the attack truck. And then how to turn him into the robot. And then lastly, how to put the stickers on him and the wing. A reminder to save your robot points and use the decoder found on box samples to read the thing beneath us. And down here we have the tech spec. It's all done up in purple to show he's a Decepticon. It lists him as a Constructicon and uses a picture that matches the one on the front of the card. It gives his name as Long Haul, and his function is transport. His motto is, "A battlefront is only as good as its supply line." Unhappy with unglamorous role, but understands its importance. Helps build Decepticons' massive energy recovery installations. As vehicle, can carry 90 tons for 1,200 miles. Use a dual heat-seeking missile mount. Hold on a second. Okay, where was I? Oh yes. As vehicle, can carry 90 tons for 1,200 miles. Use a dual heat-seeking missile mount. I like their their wording here. It should be uses. As torso module, combines with fellow Constructicons to form giant robot Devastator. Can be goaded into fight in which he's overmatched. I guess he really wants to prove himself worthy of the Constructicons. At any rate, we'll put the decoder on here and take a look at his stats. It gives his strength as 9, his intelligence is 5, his speed is 2, his endurance is 9, his rank is 4, his courage is 8, his firepower is 7, and his skill is 4. So he is pretty brave and pretty tough, and has some decent firepower. But everything else leaves a lot to be desired. Now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Long Haul? Long Haul is certainly one of those characters that's in the middle tier. I mean, yeah, he is a pretty pathetic toy, to say the least. But, given the fact that he's also a part of Devastator, I think we can forgive some of the toy's faults. 1985, toy engineering was sort of on the limited side, so in a lot of ways we had to suffer to get the bigger toys, unlike how they're being done today. But I think Long Haul makes a fair attempt at being able to be a playable toy. Certainly the dump truck mode is nice, but the lack of being able to use the dumping mechanism on him is probably the most disappointing thing about it. As a character, Long Haul's a bit of a contradiction in terms. He doesn't like being a dump truck, but he understands the importance of it. That doesn't mean he's not going to stop bellyaching about it. According to the More Than Meets the Eye guides, he is the second strongest member of the team, right behind Bone Crusher. So he does at least have that going along with him. The problem is the fact that Since he's not happy with the unglamorous role that he has, he wants more out of life, and as stated there at the end of the tech spec bio, he can be goaded into a fight when he's overmatched. Obviously, a stronger Autobot, or even a smarter one, can lure him into an obvious ambush simply by making fun of his profession and role within the group. So, Long Haul certainly does have some issues he's got to work out if he ever hopes to go anywhere in the Decepticon hierarchy. But he does make a good hip joint for Devastator, so I guess that's going to be his role for the foreseeable future. And that concludes my review of the Decepticon Transport Long Haul. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up here at YouTube. If you're a new subscriber, hit the button down below to join up within our ranks, and make sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when all future videos get posted. Please also consider sharing your thoughts of Long Haul in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.